All right, what's up, TBP fam? Guys, as you already know, we had the Grand Lake event. It was awesome. It was fun. We didn't get the dub, unfortunately. We had some little misfortunes that happened, but I mean, it's part of the game, it's part of learning. A lot of things that could have been prevented, and a lot of things that we're going to build on. And I'm going to personally tell you guys right now, this was not a letdown. I know a lot of people that see me right after the tournament was like, man, you seem distant, you out of the way. It wasn't anything like that at all. What it was for me was I had one of the best days of fishing in a competition setting that I've ever had. For one, I caught close to 30 bass, guys. I mean, it was just awesome. But we didn't get the size we needed. We'll work on that on down the road. We'll start figuring out where the bigs are during competition time. But one thing I can't say is the practice, guys. The practice. A lot of you guys probably wonder, why do I practice so much? Why do you hit the lakes like 24/7, it seems like? Well, I hit the lakes 3 or 4 times a week because when I'm out there in that boat, I'm comfortable. There's no scrambling for bait. There's no hurry up, let's get over here, let's work this, let's cover this water like this. It was all natural, guys. Like, my mindset was where it's supposed to be. The practice is very necessary for you guys out there, doing tournament fishing. Now, I'm not saying go to your favorite waters, or when I say favorite waters, I'm talking about like your tournament water. Like, I'm not saying go out there on the lake that you're competing on and just rip them up every day, because that'd be counterproductive, guys. It makes the fish's mouth sore, for one. And another thing is, it can also put you in a bad situation if the fish empty out and it don't reload. That spot doesn't reload, okay? So what we want to do is we want to go to places that'll challenge you. And you want to go to some places where it's fairly easy to catch them too. Because you want to keep that confidence level up. And going into this tournament, I was on cloud 9, guys. I mean, confidence level was up. Unfortunately, we had to wait. That's one thing I will say. We had to wait, guys. We had to wait. Problem is, in my situation, we got penalized, guys. I'm not sure how much they penalized us, but when I looked at the scale, it was a little bit over 7 pounds that we had. But about time I looked again and got the ticket, it was like 415. So that said, I don't know. Maybe he had his hand on the scale when he was weighing it, and it just looked like it was more weight there, or maybe that's how it goes. But what I will say is, we definitely caught him, and it was amazing. We got out there, we executed our plan. It worked perfectly. The only difference was we had small issues, and one of the small issues that we ran into was my boater did not remember the live well, the tournament live well. Not the first fish, but like around the second or third fish we put in the live well, we had got into fishing, heard the water about an hour and a half ago going splashing around, and I guess he kind of got trapped in time. By the time I checked the live well to see if they were okay, live well was dry, guys. I mean, not dry as a bone, but it had less than 1 inch of water, and the fish were dead. Not all of them, guys. I mean, fortunately, we saved one. We saved one on my side, because I weighed in 3. And his side, I think the second one he caught survived, and he had 1 dead. But it's a lesson that you guys want to take with you. Always check your fish. I mean, I know as co-anglers, it's hard for us to say, hey, is it okay if I turn this live well on, or check them real quick? And if it's not on, you want me to turn it on or put some water in, or even put ice in there if the water's too hot, to kind of keep the temperature for the fish, to keep them alive. Or if it's just to put some of this, I can't remember the stuff that he put in there, but stuff to keep the fish alive, anything like that. We have to ask questions, and that's something that I should have done. So I feel partly the fault was on me, because I should have, as a co-angler, I should have, executed a better plan and said, hey, man, let me check these fish. Let me turn this live well on, or asked for permission of that because it's his boat, guys. I want you guys to all remember that. You may have fish in that live well, but that is the boater's boat. So you have to make sure that whatever you feel you need to do, you need to go over it with him. But long story short, that was a failing on my part, because if you want to be a champion, guys, you have to take responsibility for everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. You want to make sure that you take full responsibility of it so that way you can fix those things and you can learn from them and build on them and make yourself stronger. So mentally, I'm doing that now. So what people thought me being distant during the tournament or after the tournament, during the weigh-in, was actually me taking mental notes of what I did and what I did good and what I did wrong. Because guys, I want you to understand, you guys, I make lists of things I don't accept and I do accept when I'm on the water from myself. I try to hold myself to a higher standard when I'm out there fishing, especially in the tournament, because guys, we all have that one dream to make it big time, and you don't make it there by just jumping in a boat and getting lucky. You have to work. You have to enjoy the process, guys. And that's one thing I'm doing. I'm enjoying the process of becoming great at the sport. And I mean, we all know we can catch fish. We all can catch fish, guys. We can go out there, any body of water, and catch fish, but it's catching the right ones at the right time in a time period you're given. And that's the thing that I love about it, because it challenges us. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go over some things with you guys that I did right. That was one thing we did wrong, but what I did right. All right, guys, we're going to start off like this. First thing I did right. I started throwing a little lipless. And I'm going to tell you why this was the right thing to do, guys. We're in September. It's fall now. During the tournament, it was still summer, but it was starting to get where the night temps were starting to cool off. And a lot of the bait was into the creek arms. Okay, guys? Even throughout, some of the flats had bait all over. So what I did was I mimicked the bait down to a T. I went through 3 different colors of lipless baits to match the hatch. And I found one, and let me tell you, it went to work. And it just literally crushed them. I mean, guys, it was just amazing getting them fish like that. But at the same time, I also paid attention to where the fish were feeding at. I realized one thing on Grand, the fish were doing probably what they do on every other water when it's feed up time. They were smashing the shad all into the boulders, off into the bluffs. So what I was doing is I was casting ahead of the blow-ups, and I was running my bait towards the boat, maybe 5 yards away from that bluff, and I was getting hammered. I mean, hammered. At the end of boat docks, I was also noticing the bait that came up, and with my shades on, I could see where the sunlight was reflecting and showing where the fish were at. You can see the shadows of the fish, and the bait were in the shady part of the dock. So I'm tossing right there right behind that shady part of the dock, and I watched them fish and the bait kind of disperse, and then boom, hammered. So all the little mental notes I was taking, guys, was just helping. I mean, everything I practiced to a T was working. It was awesome. I was loving it. I mean, I couldn't had a better day on the water in the tournament setting. The only difference is like the little setbacks, which I understand now what I need to do on that. But other than that, guys, it was a good day on the water. We ended up finishing 57th. I mean, 57th place out of 144 boats. It is okay. I mean, it's decent, but it's unacceptable. We know what we need to do to win. We should have won this tournament, and no penalty, none of that caused that. We executed the plan. We just didn't find the bigs. That's all that was. So next time, what we will do is I'll start using bigger baits to kind of attract some of these bigger fish. Because I was fishing for a limit. I did like most co-anglers do, and you guys that fish tournaments know this. We throw on that bait that's going to get big the quickest so we can get a limit, and then we can start laying into the bigger fish. Well, I did that, and let me tell you guys, it took a lot of them fish to get fish that were 14 inches. So I'm not saying that's a bad plan, but I'm saying it's not foolproof, guys. So you have to start going out here and fish to your strengths. And that's what I returned to. And that's how I end up almost with my full limit. I went back to my strengths and kind of just worked my plan like I was supposed to. And it turned out pretty decent. But another thing I want to show you guys that I did right. The jig. Okay, guys, when your boater gets into the docks and he gets to where that live scope's running, and he's like, man, I can see fish all up under these docks, and you know you're running a power bait, you're power fishing, and you're throwing that spinner bait or you're throwing that crank bait, and you're like, man, he's all in the docks. I can't really fish. You can. Guys, there's ways to work around a system that the boater has. If that boater's wanting to flip docks, whether he's throwing a Senko, whether he's throwing a drop shot, if he can slow that boat down to where he can fish that, you can definitely pick up a football jig and toss that sucker in the shady part of that dock. Because I got smashed. I mean, guys, I literally got smashed. The first few tournaments we done, I was just like most of you guys out there, trying to pick my moments when to fish. Felt like a lot of water wasn't good. I was like, hey, this is not good for me. I'm in the back of the boat. Everything's recycled. But this time, due to practice and actually practicing on a boat as well, it helped me have the patience to just settle down and fish. And I caught fish. And not bragging or anything like that, guys, but I actually caught more fish than the boater. And that's not normal in most cases, guys, but I end up doing that because I figured out a system around it. But I end up having a pretty cool boater too, because he kind of let me pick a few spots that I knew fish were at, and we had a good day. I mean, we had a decent day, as far as catching wise. But another thing I want to just, get out the way, guys. We're going to be doing more tournaments soon, but right now there's so many. We're trying to figure out which ones to take. So I'll probably have to, update you guys through Facebook, Instagram, or another video. But right now, we're taking them all. We're taking them all on, guys. We're taking them all on. MLF may this season might be done, guys, but there's plenty of fishing still to be done. You know what I mean? There's plenty of tournaments to compete in. We're going to keep ourselves sharp. And as you guys already know, I'm going to practice regardless of what's going on. 365 days a year if I could. But since we work a full-time job and full-time dad, husband, I gotta I gotta make myself available to all aspects of my life. So with that said, we'll keep fishing. And guys, one thing I want you guys to take away from this, it may have been a loss. And that's one thing that I love coming to grips with, being honest with myself. This may have been a loss, but it's not the first loss I had. And let me tell you something, out of all the losses I've had, this is the first time that I felt like I was in full control, other than the little mishap that happened. And other than everybody kind of, not everybody, but a lot of people kind of found some bigger fish because the weights went up. It was 2-day tournament, guys, and I think 14 or 15 pounds won it out of 2 days. That's really, out of 2-day tournament, that's not a big bag, but it's decent. I mean, it's not, not a big 2-day total. So what I'm saying is, guys, we were close enough to where I feel like next season we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready, guys, and all you guys support me. That helped a lot. You guys have no idea how many times I read your messages. I mean, I read them things and I'm like, you know what? They're right. I'm gonna try this, or they're right. I'm gonna think like this. And you guys were pretty much in sync. Everything you said was true, factual, and it was right on time with everybody else. So I appreciate you guys for that. And another thing, guys, I know I harp on you guys about the like, share, and subscribe thing. I really need you guys to do this, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing these videos. And unfortunately, we couldn't get the footage of the fishing. It's just one of them things. We were in a tight little spot, and I ended up leaving my GoPro at the house. And on tournaments like this, I can't have my camera woman and my wife, on the boat, because there's only 2 people at a time on the boat. Even if there's room, we're not allowed to have her on there, even if it's media or whatever you got going. So with that said, we didn't get that, but in the future, we're going to get more of that. But what we're needing right now is we're just needing you guys to stay supportive, and we need you guys to push this channel as much as you can. Because like I said, guys, before, I'm not trying to make $1 million off YouTube. I'm not trying to lay back and just hang out all day long. I'm going to be working, guys. I'm only retiring to do what I want to do, work. I can sustain off anything. I can always go back to work and, take care of my family because I'm a hard worker naturally. But this is what I want to do in the meantime. Because, guys, I want you guys to have dope content. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good creators out there, great creators out there. I'm not saying I'm the best, but what I am saying is that I'm more passionate, and I will try to get you guys more content. But I can only do what I'm allowed, I'm allowed right now, guys. Because, right now, we don't have too much, the gear. We don't have, a whole lot of gear that we're shooting everything on. And not everything that we have is mobile. We don't have, a lot of stuff that's mobile. We go to lakes, guys. For you guys that think that we just pond fish, I hate to tell you, 90% of the time, you're going to catch me at the lake. And a lot of times, it looks good. It looks like some water. And you'd be like, oh, that looks like a big pond. It's not, guys. We're going to be fishing lakes that you can actually go visit yourself. But with that said, we're gonna definitely have to take this channel to another level, guys, because I want you guys to have good content, and I want to be able to continue to let you guys in on this journey, because you guys are now family. You guys got your damn selves adopted. So consider yourselves family, man. And this is one thing from your guy, TBP. I want you guys to understand. I'm going to keep pushing this channel. I'm going to keep getting the content you want. Start commenting, guys. Let me know what you want. We're all open to that. I know I'm busy with the tournaments sometimes and all that thing, but let me know what you want. We can break it up. If it's a catch and cook, we'll go ahead and get that in there too. I mean, if you want to see a certain lure worked, if you heard something about some gear, now I will tell you this though, guys. I'm very loyal when it comes down to my gear. Just saying. I don't want to hear nothing about hey, I want to see how this new Duckett ride. No. Y'all know how we rocking. We're rocking with straight Denali's, guys. 10 killer tackle. We definitely gonna mess with Venom and Honey Badger lures. And we're just gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna keep it rolling with the same people we've been on. But I will test out the new lures that you guys have. I will test them out. There's no problem. As long as I'm not promoting them, but I could compare them to something that I'm using, or just see how they work. If there's a lot of noise on it, let me know about it, and we'll check it out. There's no problem with that either. But I'd like to just say one more thing, though, before I go, guys. Follow what you're passionate about. Trust me, we've been doing this for 4 years. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't seem like it because you look at the numbers. But let me tell you something. You see traction in daylight no matter what you're doing. Trust me, results are coming. Even if you don't notice them at first, they're there. And with you guys being part of this family, that right there just shows, because we started off, we had 10 subscribers, guys. 10. We had 10 for the longest, probably 5-6 months. We had 10 subscribers. 10. But thanks to y'all making it happen and us busting our tails to get it done, boom. We're almost at 700. So let's not stall out, guys. Let's keep it going. You guys have done a great job. We come way too far to quit. And I'm not going to quit. That's one thing that you're going to learn about me. I'm not going to quit tournament fishing. I'm not going to quit doing YouTube. I'm not going to quit repping who I rep. I'm not going to quit repping you guys.